Part 1: The Echoes of Zyral. The soft hum of the Riftrunner's engines was a lullaby I'd grown accustomed to, a constant companion through endless nights among the stars. I was Malek Tarsis, captain and custodian of this old freighter. She was a worn, majestic beast, a little too fond of vintage quirks, like a temperamental gasket valve I'd patched just last week with duct tape and a prayer. Yet her spirit was true, guiding me across the cosmos while I tried to outrun a past that clung tighter than static. Today, however, was different. My trusty ship and I were skimming the fringes of the Zyral Nebula, notorious for its spectral beauty and treacherous gravitational anomalies. The nebula's luminescent gases swirled outside, casting eerie shadows inside the cockpit. It felt like drifting through the dreams of a sleeping colossus, each cloud pregnant with secrets whispered across the vastness of space. I wondered if those secrets might be the kind that could finally drown out the echoes of my past mistakes. The comms unit crackled to life, breaking my reverie like a rock through glass. "Captain, I'm getting some unusual readings from the ship's sensors," said Jin, my eccentric but brilliant engineer. Her voice was laced with the kind of excitement a kid has when they've discovered a new insect in their backyard. "Looks like we've got something big out there, and I mean monumentally big." "Define big, Jin," I replied, adjusting my harness. I needed more caffeine for this conversation. "Well, that depends. How do you feel about alien megastructures?" The word alien always sends a shiver down the spine of even the most seasoned spacer. Almost all of us out here were chasing some legend or artifact, but you rarely expect to find one. "Where's this thing located exactly?" I asked, already feeling the gears of curiosity turning. "Barely a parsec ahead and slightly starboard. It's half hidden in the nebula's dust, as if it were camouflaged or waiting." I nodded even though she couldn't see it. "All right, Jin, prep for a closer look. Let's try not to become cosmic confetti in the process." As we approached, the megastructure came into view, a vast lattice of interlocking rings that shimmered with an ethereal light. It was both beautiful and unsettling, like an ancient cathedral adrift in the void. I felt like an intruder, trespassing on something sacred. The structure seemed to pulse, as if breathing, its rhythm caressing the ship with an unfathomable energy. I turned to my navigator, Cass, who had spent most of the journey fiddling with a hollow puzzle cube. "Cass, what do you make of this?" He squinted through the viewport, the spinning cube forgotten in his lap. "Looks like some kind of abandoned orbital habitat, but it's alive." He hesitated, not wanting to sound absurd but knowing I valued truth over comfort, or at least aware. "Alive, now there's a comforting thought," I muttered wryly. We decided to go for a closer inspection, Jin grinning like a maniac as she prepared the ship's tenuous systems for a manual docking. The interface was unlike anything we'd seen, a beautiful puzzle of alien technology that Jin deciphered with the exuberant precision of a child unwrapping a mystery gift. Once docked, the airlock hissed open to reveal a vast chamber lit by a soft, bioluminescent glow. The alien architecture spiraled upwards and outwards, defying logic and physics in ways that boggled the mind. It was a silent city, waiting in slumber. As we moved deeper inside, the sense of being watched crept in, the hairs on my neck prickling with every step. The walls themselves seemed to pulse with energy, responding to our presence. Then, without warning, the structure's lights surged, and the floor beneath us trembled. "Captain," Jin's voice crackled over the comms, "there's some massive energy spike. Must be a self-defense mechanism or something else." A distant rumbling grew into a cacophony as the structure awoke around us. The rings of the megastructure, once static, began to rotate with majestic lethality. It was like being inside a giant's clockwork heart. "Back to the ship now," I hollered, adrenaline surging. Our casual exploration had become a race against time. The corridors writhed like serpents, walls shifting, trying to trap us in their coils. As we sprinted back, a section of the path collapsed behind us, swallowed by the alien maw. I pushed Jin and Cass forward, my heart pounding louder than the chaos surrounding us. Just as we lunged for the airlock, a tendril of alien tech whipped out, coiling around my ankle like a steel snake. Cass grabbed my arm, his grip firm, his face a mask of determination. "Not today, Captain." With one mighty pull, he yanked me free as Jin slammed the airlock shut. The Riftrunner shuddered as we tore away from the structure. The alien megastructure shrank behind us, a dying star in the expanse of the nebula. Breathless, we collapsed into our seats, adread. Nailin giving way to the shaky relief of survival. I glanced at Jin, who was already analyzing the data she'd managed to download during our frantic escape. Find anything useful? She grinned, her eyes sparkling with curiosity and mischief. Oh, plenty, but I also found a map, and this map leads to something even stranger. I groaned but couldn't help a crooked smile. Of course it does. As the Riftrunner navigated back into the nebulous embrace, I realized that the echoes I was running from might just lead to the answers I desperately needed. Little did I know, the vast tapestry of the cosmos had only begun to unravel. Part 2: The Veil of Shadows. The Riftrunner's hull thrummed with the comforting cadence of its engines, a reminder that, for now, we were safe. The alien megastructure was a distant star on our navigational charts, a ghost of a perilous encounter. We drifted through the Zyral Nebula's vast, swirling mists, the ship's sensors keenly attuned to the shimmering anomalies surrounding us. I leaned back in my seat, trying to process the torrent of thoughts flooding my mind. Jin, ever the savant, was hunched over her terminal, her fingers dancing across the keys with the grace of a concert pianist. This map, she mused aloud, the glow of the holoscreen reflecting in her wide, curious eyes. It's unlike anything in our databases, a labyrinth of pathways leading to something at the center. Cass looked up from his navigation charts, intrigued but cautious. I'm guessing it's not a cosmic spa day they're inviting us to. Jin chuckled, doubtful, but what's life without a little mystery? I absorbed their banter, the comfortable camaraderie that had become the lifeline of our existence aboard this rattling freighter. Any idea what's at the center of this place? I asked. Jin shook her head. That's the part that's got me stumped. The energy signatures are off the charts, like nothing we've seen before, but there's something else. Her voice trailed off as she tapped at the console, a hollow projector blossoming into life. It cast a shimmering 3D image of a planet-sized object, hovering eerily without orbit in the empty expanse. It was tethered by ethereal strands that danced like solar flares, flickering and twisting. That, she said, pointing, is a cloister rift, a celestial anomaly, a hidden realm, and it looks as if that alien structure was somehow connected to this anomaly. Cass frowned. Well, Captain, fancy a trip to the unknown? Depends, I said, masking my unease with dry humor. What's the worst that could happen? As if on cue, the Riftrunner's alarms blared, the cockpit awash in a scarlet hue. Our systems screamed in protest, sensors detecting an incoming vessel. Unidentified ship approaching at speed, Cass snapped, his eyes darting to the radar. Doesn't match any known configurations. A chill slithered down my spine. Bring it up on the screen. The display flickered to reveal a sleek, predatory ship, a frigate of alien design, all dark and menacing angles. It moved with a grace that belied its size, like a panther in the night. An uneasy silence settled over us. Who were they, and what did they want? The frigate hailed us, and a voice crackled through the speakers, each word measured and resonant. Greetings, Riftrunner. You are trespassing in restricted space. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. I raised an eyebrow at Jin and Cass. Friendly bunch, aren't they? What's the play, Captain? Cass asked, his fingers poised over the controls. Let's not provoke them, I said, weighing each possibility, but let's not be sitting ducks either. I toggled the comms channel open. This is Captain Malek Tarsis. We're merely explorers passing through. Is there a problem? The silence that followed was filled with the oppressive tension of a desert sun. The voice returned, colder, clipped. You have something we want. Surrender the data you've acquired, and no harm will come to you. Jin and I exchanged glances, the same unspoken question passing between us. What could they possibly know about our encounter with the megastructure? Before I could respond, Jin whispered, Captain, we need to hide the data, if they get it. I nodded, a plan forming. Cass, prepare to deploy a decoy. Jin, encrypt the map and bury it in the system. Cass unleashed a sensor ghost, a clever ruse to mask our true capabilities. As the decoy shot off into the nebula, the frigate shifted focus, momentarily duped by our sleight of hand. Now, I barked, guiding the Riftrunner into a dense pocket of stellar debris. We skimmed the edge of asteroids cloaked in the nebula's opaline mists, praying they'd obscure us from the frigate's pursuit. Our hearts thundered as we navigated through the labyrinthine paths, the ship vibrating with each near miss. But the alien vessel was relentless, shadowing us with a silent menace that felt all too personal. Just as hope began to falter, a brilliant flash illuminated the darkness. The cloister rift had come alive, its energy tendrils unfurling, a cosmic dance that beckoned us onward. "Captain, look," Jin shouted, pointing at the rift's pulsating heart. "We need to get inside. It's our only chance." Taking a deep breath, I steered the Riftrunner towards the anomaly, the frigate hot on our trail. As we approached the rift, its shimmering veil parted, engulfing us in an otherworldly glow. The moment we crossed its threshold, a deafening silence enveloped us. The cosmos faded away, replaced by a realm beyond comprehension, a surreal landscape where reality itself seemed to warp and weave. The frigate, now distant, hesitated at the rift's border, unwilling to follow. For now, we were safe, but the mystery of this cloistered domain lay ahead, waiting to unravel the deepest secrets of the universe. As we drifted within the anomaly's embrace, I felt the weight of our choices looming large. Every step forward was a step further into the unknown, into a future that, despite its uncertainty, held the promise of revelation. In the silence, I swore I heard a whisper, an echo from the stars, calling us onward. Part 3: The Lattice of Dreams. Within the luminous embrace of the cloister rift, time seemed to unravel into threads, weaving a tapestry that defied the constraints of ordinary space. Colors bloomed and faded in the void around us, like the auroras of a distant world reflected in an endless sea. I stood at the helm of the Riftrunner, senses attuned to the symphony of the anomaly, each note a prelude to discovery. Beside me, Jin peered eagerly into her terminal, her eyes wide with the kind of wonder that had drawn all of us into the void. "Captain, this place is a treasure trove. The energy here is alive, like a heartbeat." Cass, ever the skeptic, folded his arms, surveying the ethereal landscape through the viewport. "I'm all for cosmic beauty, but what are the odds it's not clocking us for dinner?" I smirked, appreciating his ever-reliable dry wit. If it's hungry, I'd prefer to be the appetizer, quick and painless. But beneath the levity, there was an undeniable truth. This realm was a living enigma, and we were intruders. The Riftrunner floated in this new reality, a speck in a universe where reality and dream blurred. "Jin," I said, gesturing to the console, "any readings on what's anchoring this place?" She nodded, fingers dancing over the interface. "There's a central point, some kind of core. It's faint, but if we can reach it, we might understand what powers this rift." As we navigated deeper, the space around us shifted, fractal patterns drifting across the void, like the thoughts of a cosmic mind. It was mesmerizing, the kind of beauty that stirred both awe and fear. Yet with each moment, the sense of being watched intensified, as if unseen eyes were appraising our every move. Cass shifted uneasily, the tension palpable. "Captain, you feel that?" "Hard to miss," I replied, glancing between the shifting patterns and the console's hum. "Keep your eyes peeled." Our course led us toward a structure, unlike anything I'd seen, a vast lattice of interconnected arches, suspended in the expanse like the skeleton of a forgotten god. It shimmered with an inner light, tendrils of energy winding through its form like veins. "Is it alive?" Jin breathed, the wonder in her voice tinged with a hint of trepidation. "Define alive," I murmured, guiding the ship closer. As we approached, the lattice responded, its arches humming in resonance with the Riftrunner's engines. The ship shuddered, lights flickering as systems recalibrated under the influence of this alien presence. "Hold steady," I ordered, focusing on maintaining our course. The lattice was drawing us in, and resistance seemed futile. Suddenly, a presence filled the cockpit, a projection that materialized from the lattice's glowing core. It was a form of light and shadow, shifting and amorphous, like a being composed of stars. "Welcome, travelers," it intoned, its voice resonant and ancient, echoing in the very fibers of the ship. "You have come seeking knowledge, have you not?" Jin's eyes widened, her scientific curiosity warring with caution. "Are you the guardian of this place?" "In a sense," the entity replied, each word imbued with the weight of eons. "I am the echo of the lattice, the voice of this realm. Few have ventured here, and fewer still have returned." I nodded, understanding the gravity of our situation. "We seek to understand the purpose of this anomaly. What is this place?" The echo shimmered, its form shifting like smoke in a breeze. "This is a sanctuary, a repository of the universe's forgotten dreams. Each path leads to a fragment of what once was, a memory preserved beyond time." Kaz, ever the pragmatist, crossed his arms. "Sounds like a cosmic museum. What's the price of admission?" The being's laughter was a gentle ripple through the air. "Only a willingness to listen, to see beyond the veil of your own existence. But be warned, what you find may change you." A thrill of anticipation, tempered by caution, sparked within me. I turned to my crew, the bond we shared unspoken yet steadfast. "What do you think? Are we ready to face the dreams of the cosmos?" Jin's smile was bright with optimism. "Only one way to find out, Captain." Cass shrugged, a twinkle of mischief in his eyes. "Sure, why not? We've come this far." With a nod to the echo, I said, "We're ready." The lattice responded with a dazzling display of lights, the arches opening to reveal a pathway of scintillating energy. As we ventured deeper, the Riftrunner sang with the harmony of the universe, each note a promise of revelation. But in the depths of the anomaly, shadows stirred, whispers of secrets long buried. And as we journeyed further into the lattice, I knew our quest for answers would lead us to confront not only the dreams of the cosmos, but the echoes of our own souls. The path ahead was fraught with wonder and danger, a tapestry yet to be woven, thread by thread. Part 4: The Confluence of Shadows. Within the luminous confines of the cloister rift, our journey through the lattice felt like an odyssey through a forgotten dreamscape. The Riftrunner navigated the shimmering pathways with a grace I hadn't thought possible, each turn revealing vistas both haunting and sublime. The lattice was a living entity, its structure shifting and morphing as if it were the embodiment of thought itself. Jin, transfixed by the spectacle, continued to scan the surroundings with the fervor of an artist beholding a masterpiece. "This place, Captain, it's a living archive. Each facet, each turn, is alive with stories." Kaz, ever the realist, watched the shifting patterns with a wary eye. "Stories or not, let's hope we don't become part of some cosmic footnote." The echo of the lattice hovered beside us, its luminous form a beacon guiding us through the labyrinth. "This path leads to the confluence," it said, its voice a blend of ages. "It is where the dreams converge, a nexus of infinite possibility." "Sounds like a good spot for existential tea and biscuits," I quipped, though the anticipation twisted like a live wire in my chest. As we continued, the lattice opened into a vast chamber, an expanse so grand it seemed to bend the very fabric of space around it. Columns of light rose from the floor, rippling like liquid glass, casting their ethereal glow throughout the chamber. And at the center, like the heart of a galaxy, spun an orb of light, pulsing with life. "This is the confluence," the echo proclaimed, its spectral form reflecting the orb-esque glow. "Here, the fabric of reality is woven and unwoven, each thread a narrative of what was, what is, and what could be." I stepped closer, the gravity of the place weighing on me like a mantle. "What's the purpose of this confluence? Why preserve these dreams?" "To safeguard the wisdom of the cosmos," the echo replied, its form shimmering with intensity. "But knowledge is power, and power has a way of attracting shadows." A shiver ran through me, the echo's words resonating with a truth I couldn't deny. The lattice, for all its brilliance, was not untouched by darkness. Jin, always the seeker of knowledge, moved to a console that had materialized nearby. Her fingers danced across the controls with the familiarity of an old friend. "If we can access these dreams, we might uncover the secrets of the universe itself. As she worked, a sudden ripple of energy coursed through the chamber, distorting the air like heat waves on desert sand. The echo's form flickered, its presence wavering. "Beware," it cautioned, "for the shadows are drawn to the light." Before I could respond, the chamber darkened, the orb's glow dimming as if an unseen force sought to snuff it out. From the periphery of the room emerged tendrils of shadow, coiling and uncoiling like serpents in the grass. Cass sprang to action, his instincts honed by years of adversity. "Captain, we've got company." Drawing my blaster, I positioned myself between the shadows and my crew, the Riftrunner's lights casting dancing patterns across the chamber's floor. The shadows hesitated, probing, testing our resolve. Jin, undeterred, continued her work at the console, the urgency of the moment driving her. "I just need a moment, almost there." The echo's voice was a whisper amidst the tension. "The shadows seek to consume the light, to claim the stories for themselves. Do not let them prevail." As if in response, the shadows lunged, their tendrils reaching for the orb. I fired, the shots tracing arcs of light through the murk. Cass joined the fray, his aim true as he picked off the encroaching darkness. Yet for every shadow we dispelled, two more emerged, drawn by the orb's luminescence. It was a battle of attrition, one we were ill-prepared to win. "Jin," I shouted over the chaos, desperation creeping into my voice. "I've got it," she cried, and with one final keystroke, a wave of energy surged from the console, enveloping the orb in a cocoon of radiance. The shadows recoiled, their forms unraveling into wisps as the orb pulsed with renewed vigor. The light expanded, driving back the darkness, until the chamber was once again filled with the pure, unblemished glow of the confluence. Breathless, we regrouped, the echo's form stabilizing as the chamber settled into calm. "You have protected the dreams," it said, its voice warm with gratitude, "but the shadows remain, ever lurking." Jin, her cheeks flushed with triumph, turned to face me. "We've accessed the archive. There's so much here, ancient knowledge, forgotten truths." I nodded, the weight of our discovery pressing heavily on my shoulders. "Then, we've got a lot of work ahead." The Riftrunner hummed in agreement, its engines resonating with the heart of the lattice. As we prepared to delve deeper into the archive, I knew our journey was far from over. The cosmos was vast, its dreams an endless tapestry, each thread leading to new mysteries and new dangers. We stood at the threshold of understanding, the echoes of stars whispering secrets that could reshape the universe or unravel it altogether. Part 5: The Harbinger's Call. The Riftrunner drifted through the heart of the lattice, its path delineated by the ethereal glow of the confluence. The chamber, now pulsing with energy, felt like a living organism, each heartbeat a thrum that echoed through the ship's superstructure. We had safeguarded the dreams, but the shadows still lingered in the recesses of my mind, a reminder that our struggle was far from over. Jin, ever resourceful, was sifting through the data we had accessed, her eyes alight with the possibilities unfolding before her. "Captain, you wouldn't believe the things I'm finding here," she said, her fingers flying over the console with an eagerness that matched the intensity of the orb's glow. "This isn't just an archive, it's a blueprint." Cass, arms crossed and brow furrowed, leaned against the bulkhead, his skepticism a reassuring constant. "A blueprint for what?" "Creation," she replied, her voice tinged with a reverent awe. "It's like the universe's instruction manual. If we can decipher it, there's no telling what we might achieve." I nodded, digesting the enormity of her words. Every instinct screamed that understanding this blueprint could bring us closer to the cosmos' deepest truths, or set loose forces we couldn't control. "Let's tread carefully. We don't know what protections might be in place." As we debated our next steps, the Riftrunner's sensors flared to life, a klaxon slicing through the air like an alarmed heartbeat. Cass rushed to the navigation console, his expression shifting from calm to alarmed. "Captain, we've got a situation. Incoming ship, unknown configuration." "Another frigate?" I asked, my mind flashing back to the alien vessel that had pursued us. "No," Cass replied, his voice edged with incredulity. "It's something else." The display flickered, revealing an approaching craft that defied description, an amalgamation of organic and technological, its surface shifting and flowing as if alive. It was unlike any ship we'd encountered, its design a stark contrast to the cold precision of the alien frigate. The echo of the lattice materialized beside us, its form flickering with urgency. That ship is a harbinger, a guardian of the dreams. Its presence here is unexpected. Unexpected how? Jin asked, her curiosity piqued despite the looming threat. It should not exist in this time, the echo replied, its voice a tapestry of confusion and concern. The harbingers were lost eons ago, lost to the shadows of forgotten epochs. Before I could respond, the harbinger hailed us, its communication resonating through the ship like the notes of an ancient hymn. Travelers, you tread upon sacred ground. State your purpose. I took a deep breath, knowing that honesty was our only path forward. We seek understanding. We mean no harm to the lattice or its dreams. The harbinger's voice was a low rumble, like a distant storm. The dreams are precious. Those who would claim them must prove their worth. Cass shot me a look that was equal parts curiosity and caution. How exactly do we do that? By facing the trial of the harbinger, it intoned, its form shimmering with the promise of challenge. Should you succeed, the knowledge of the confluence will be yours to wield. And if we fail, Jin asked, her voice a quiet echo of the question we all shared. The harbinger's form coiled with energy, a silent testament to the gravity of our choice. Then you shall join the shadows, your dreams consumed. A heavy silence fell over the cockpit, the weight of the trial pressing down like the gravity of a collapsed star. We exchanged glances, the bond between us a silent vow. This was a test of our resolve, our unity, a crucible that would either forge strength or fracture our fragile alliance. I turned to the echo, the being's presence a beacon of wisdom. Any advice? The echo's form shimmered with the light of ancient stars. Trust in one another. The lattice is made of dreams, and dreams are threaded with the bonds of those who share them. With a nod, I faced the harbinger's challenge. We accept the trial. The chamber darkened, the luminous pathways shifting as the lattice adjusted to the harbinger's presence. The ship shuddered, caught in the grip of unseen forces as we prepared to confront the unknown. In the heart of the lattice, where dreams and reality wove a delicate tapestry, we faced the harbinger's trial. The air thrummed with energy, each heartbeat a reminder of the stakes, not only our survival but the fate of the knowledge we sought to preserve. Together, we would navigate the trial of the harbinger, our path illuminated by the light of the confluence, the dreams of the cosmos whispering secrets that could reshape our destiny, for good or ill. Part 6. The Trial of Etha. The Riftrunner trembled as the harbinger's trial unfurled around us, an ethereal theater of light and shadow where dreams took tangible form. We stood within the ship's heart, the air tense with the anticipation of the unknown. The confluence had called us to prove our worth, and the lattice itself seemed to breathe with expectation. A rift opened before us, revealing a landscape that defied the laws of physics. Floating islands orbited around a central spire, each isle suspended by streams of shimmering energy. The sky was a swirling canvas of colors, a living aurora that beckoned us forward. Jin, her eyes wide with wonder, whispered, "It's like stepping into a painting." Cass, ever the pragmatist, scanned the environment with wary eyes. "A painting that might bite. Keep your guard up, Captain." I nodded, feeling the unspoken trust that bound us, a thread woven through shared trials and triumphs. Stay close. We don't know what challenges this trial will throw at us. As we ventured onto the nearest island, the ground beneath our feet shifted, forming patterns that resonated with a soft, musical hum. It was a melody of the lattice, a song of the cosmos that echoed with each step we took. "Do you hear that?" Jin asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's like the whole place is singing." The echo of the lattice, our spectral guide, drifted beside us, its form a flickering dance of light. The trial tests the harmony of your souls with the dreams of the confluence. Each step brings you closer to understanding or oblivion. With each island we crossed, the landscape transformed, presenting us with puzzles and trials that challenged our intellect, courage, and unity. Together, we deciphered ancient glyphs, traversed shifting bridges, and confronted illusions designed to sow discord. Jin's brilliance illuminated our path, her mind a beacon of solutions, while Cass's unyielding determination grounded us, his strength a bulwark against the encroaching shadows. As for me, I felt the weight of leadership, my resolve tested in ways I had never imagined. Each decision threaded into the fate of our journey, binding us closer or threatening to tear us apart. We reached the central spire, its surface a mosaic of dreams, swirling with the colors of a million celestial phenomena. At its base stood a gateway, its threshold shimmering with potential. "This is it," I said, my voice a mixture of awe and apprehension, "the heart of the trial." The echo of the lattice hovered before the gateway, its presence a luminous guide. Beyond lies the ether, the crucible where dreams are forged. Only those who harmonize with its essence may pass. Cass glanced at me, his brow furrowed with suspicion. "And if we do?" The echo's form shifted, its light dimming momentarily. "Then the shadows will claim the dreamer, and all will be lost." Jin stepped forward, her resolve burning bright. "We're ready." Together we crossed the threshold, stepping into the ether. A vortex of light enveloped us, its brilliance overwhelming, and for a moment I felt as if I were suspended in time, weightless and untethered. Within the vortex, the boundaries of self blurred, our consciousness merging with the lattice's dreamscape. Visions danced before us, fragments of past, present, and future, woven into a tapestry that defied understanding. I saw echoes of my past, the choices that had led me here, each thread weaving into the greater fabric of the cosmos. Jin's dreams intertwined with discoveries yet to be made, her vision a constellation of possibilities. Cass stood as a guardian, his resolve an anchor against the maelstrom of uncertainty. In that moment, we understood that the trial was not merely about survival, but transformation. The lattice offered its wisdom, a gift for those who could see beyond the veil. As the ether faded, depositing us back onto the spire's summit, we felt a profound shift within. The dreams of the confluence pulsed with renewed vigor, resonating with our own. We had proved our worth, and the cosmos had acknowledged our place within its grand design. The harbinger appeared, its form a harmonious blend of light and shadow. "You have succeeded, travelers. The dreams are yours to nurture, to protect." The Riftrunner hummed in agreement, its engines roaring to life with a vitality that echoed our own transformation. As we prepared to leave the lattice, the echo's parting words resonated in my heart. "Remember, Captain Malek Tarsis, the dreams are not yours alone. They are a beacon for all who seek the light." With a final nod, the harbinger withdrew, its presence a reminder of the bond we shared with the lattice. As the Riftrunner set course for the stars, I knew our journey had only just begun. We carried the dreams of the cosmos within us, a legacy to guide and shape our future, and the future of all who would dare to dream. Part 7. The Veins of Eternity. The Riftrunner sailed from the lattice with a newfound purpose, our course charted through a cosmos that now thrummed with possibilities. The dreams of the confluence whispered in our minds like a gentle breeze, their secrets an ever-present reminder of the knowledge we now held. Each star we passed seemed to acknowledge our awakening, winking in silent salute as we raced toward the next chapter of our odyssey. Jin was engrossed in the data streams, her fingers tapping out rhythms of discovery on the console. "Captain, I've been decoding some of the archives," she said, her voice filled with the infectious excitement that accompanied each new revelation. "There's mention of a star forge, a construct capable of harnessing stardust to create anything." Cass glanced up from the navigation module, his curiosity piqued. "Anything, like a universal vending machine." "More like a celestial workshop," Jin corrected, her eyes alight with wonder. "The forge could be the key to unlocking technologies we've only dreamed of." I considered her words, the gravity of such a discovery settling over me like a mantle. "Where is this forge?" Jin zoomed in on the holomap, the confluence's data reshaping the cosmic landscape before us. "It's located in the pulsar's devotion, a system shrouded in gravitational fluxes. But there's a catch." Of course there is, I muttered, bracing for the inevitable twist. The pathway to the forge is littered with veins of eternity, Jin continued, her tone serious. These are massive cosmic filaments that act like conduits of energy. Cross the wrong one, and we might end up fused to a star. Cass let out a low whistle. Sounds like a doozy of a shortcut. Indeed, I said, plotting our course with careful precision. But if the forge is what Jin believes it to be, this risk is worth taking. Our decision made, the rift runner threaded through the endless void, each moment tinged with anticipation. As we neared the pulsar's devotion, the ship's sensors began picking up the gravitational anomalies that marked the system's approach. The cosmos unfolded before us with a beauty that bordered on surreal. Immense tendrils of incandescent light wove through space, their undulating forms resembling celestial veins coursing through the universe's heart. Each throbbed with power, a testament to the ancient forces at play. "We're entering the veins of eternity," Cass announced, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. The Riftrunner's instruments hummed, the ship vibrating as it adjusted to the gravitational fluxes. Jin was enraptured by the display, her gaze flicking between the console and the awe-inspiring vista outside. It's like the universe's circulatory system, pumping energy through creation itself. But fascination was tempered by caution. The veins of eternity were unpredictable, their paths shifting with a complexity that defied logic. One misstep could see us swept into oblivion. "Hold steady," I instructed, guiding the ship through the labyrinthine network with a mix of skill and instinct. Each turn was a calculated risk, a dance with forces that could crush us in an instant. Suddenly, the ship's alarms shrieked a warning, the console awash with crimson lights. Cass's hands flew over the controls, a curse slipping from his lips. "We've got a filament surge, it's pulling us in." The Riftrunner lurched, the gravitational wave seizing us in its grip. I fought the controls, every fiber of my being focused on regaining stability. Divert all power to the stabilizers. The ship trembled, groaning under the strain as Jin rerouted energy with deft precision. Slowly, the grip of the filament lessened, the ship righting itself as the surge passed. Breathless, we exchanged glances, the camaraderie that had become our lifeline more palpable than ever. "Everyone all right?" I asked, my voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through my veins. Cass nodded, his usual cynicism giving way to relief. "Still breathing, Captain." Jin, her fingers still dancing over the console, wore a triumphant smile. "And we're still on course. The forge is up ahead." The pulsar's devotion revealed its heart, the star forge materializing before us, a titanic construct that seemed to orbit a neutron star, its form radiant with the energy of creation. The forge's arms reached out like the hands of a celestial artisan, weaving stardust into materials unknown. As we approached, the Riftrunner docked with the precision of a bird alighting on a branch, the forge's systems welcoming us into its embrace. Jin's eyes shone with anticipation, the possibilities unfurling like a scroll of ancient lore. "This is it, Captain. We're standing at the threshold of limitless potential." The forge awaited, its secrets poised to expand the boundaries of our understanding. And yet, as we prepared to explore this wondrous engine of creation, I couldn't shake the feeling that our journey was only just beginning. The universe stretched endlessly before us, an eternal tapestry woven from the dreams of the cosmos, and we were but humble weavers, threading our way through its mysteries and marvels. Part 8: The Resonance Accord. The interior of the Star Forge unfolded like the halls of an ancient cathedral, a sanctum where the universe's raw potential awaited. Great columns of light rose from the floor, their luminescence casting ethereal shadows that danced across the walls. The air thrummed with power, each pulse resonating with an echo of eternity. Jin moved with the precision of a surgeon, her eyes alive with the wonder of discovery. Her fingers skimmed across the control interface, a symphony of motion echoing the forge's silent grandeur. "This is incredible, Captain. It's like the forge is alive, each part communicating with the whole." I nodded, feeling the electricity in the air like a tangible presence. "Let's see what it can teach us." Cass, ever pragmatic, surveyed the surroundings with a cautious eye. I'd say we listen more than we touch. We don't want to accidentally blow ourselves into a new dimension. We approached the central dais, where a control console floated serenely above a pool of radiant energy, its surface rippling like a liquid mirror. The forge hummed with anticipation, a great beast eager to share its secrets. Jin began interfacing with the console, her deft touch unraveling layers of ancient programming. The forge operates on resonance, Captain. It reads our intentions, aligning them with the cosmos to craft what we imagine. As she worked, the forge responded, the energy pool coalescing into vibrant hues that mirrored our thoughts. It felt as though the boundaries of reality were dissolving, leaving only the purest form of creation. But as the forge awakened, a low vibration rumbled through its structure, a distant presence stirring in its depths. The sound was a harmonic chord, deep and resonant, vibrating through the core of our beings. "Is that music?" Cass asked, his voice a hushed reverence layered with awe. Jin listened intently, her expression one of growing recognition. "It's not just music, it's a language. The forge is speaking to us." A holographic interface sprang to life above the dais, the light forming into symbols that shifted and changed like the pages of a cosmic tome. Each symbol resonated with a unique frequency, a dialogue of light and sound that allured and intrigued. "It's a resonance accord," Jin explained, guiding us through the symphony of symbols. "The forge is offering us a pact, a partnership of creation, but only if we can harmonize with its essence." I felt the weight of the moment settle over me, a mantle of responsibility that transcended the immediate. Here, at the nexus of creation, we were being offered a role in the orchestration of the cosmos. Cass, leaning forward, studied the interface with newfound respect. "So, how do we answer? What's our part in this duet?" Jin's eyes sparkled with inspiration. "We resonate. We allow our intentions to flow, to merge with the forge itself." As we aligned our thoughts and energies, the forge responded with a luminous crescendo, the pool of energy rising to envelop us in a cocoon of light. Each note of the accord resonated within, a melody of potential and promise. Yet amid the harmony, a discordant note struck, a tremor that rippled through the forge, sending shivers down our spines. The forge's song faltered, the cymbals flickering as the resonance shifted. "What's happening?" I asked, feeling the disturbance like a cold wind. Jin's brow furrowed with concentration. Something's interfering with the resonance, a distortion, perhaps, from outside the forge. Cass's jaw tightened, his instincts sharp. "Think the shadows have followed us here." The notion chilled me, but before I could respond, the forge's energy surged, projecting a visual of the outer void. There, at the fringes of the pulsar's devotion, a familiar frigate loomed, its dark silhouette unmistakable against the stars. "They're back," I said, my voice a blend of determination and foreboding. Jin's fingers flew over the controls, bolstering the forge's defenses as she worked to reestablish harmony. "The forge is vulnerable if they disrupt the resonance completely." "We lose everything," Cass finished, his gaze steely as he prepared for the oncoming storm. The forge, sensing the threat, rallied its energies, the resonance accord intensifying with luminous brilliance. It was both a fortress and a beacon, its defense a symphony woven from the very fabric of creation. As we braced for the inevitable confrontation, I felt the stirrings of a fierce resolve within. The forge had chosen us, entrusted us with its song, and we would not let it fall to the shadows. The stage was set, the final crescendo of our journey awaiting. We stood together, our fates entwined with the star forge, prepared to protect the dreams of the universe and to discover what lay beyond the veil of possibilities. Part 9: The Celestial Symphony. The star forge's energy resonated through the Riftrunner, each pulse a heartbeat in the cosmic silence. Outside, the menacing silhouette of the alien frigate cast a long shadow over the pulsar's devotion. We were on the precipice of a confrontation that could shape the fate of everything we had come to hold dear. Jin, resolute in her determination, continued to interface with the forge. Her fingers danced over the console, commanding the luminous energy to form barriers of light and sound. The forge is responding, Captain. We're amplifying its defenses, but it'll only hold as long as we maintain the symphony. Kaz, watching the approaching frigate, gripped the controls with a steady hand. Seems they're determined to crash our little concert. I surveyed the vast expanse of the forge, its potential humming with dormant power. We need to keep the resonance intact. If they disrupt it, we lose the forge and everything we've learned. The alien frigate advanced, its sleek form cutting through the void with predatory grace. Energy surges flickered along its hull, preparing to unleash their might upon us. The echo of the lattice, our spectral guide, materialized beside us, its presence a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. The forge is woven from the dreams of the universe. Its song is a gift, a tapestry of creation. Defend it with all you are. With the forge amplifying our intentions, the resonance accord flowed through us, an orchestra of energies united in purpose. The alien frigate loomed ever closer, and as the distance closed, the symphony within the forge reached a crescendo. Captain, they're targeting the forge's core, Jin warned, her voice a mixture of fear and resolve. Then we won't let them, I declared, as the Riftrunner became an instrument of the forge's will. We launched volleys of energy, each note of the symphony a shield against the darkness. The frigate retaliated, its weapons weaving a discordant scream across space. Yet the forge's harmonics countered, absorbing and redirecting the assault in a dazzling display of light and sound. Cass maneuvered the Riftrunner with precision, each movement a dance through the chaos. This is going to be close, Captain. Jin's fingers blurred over the controls, her focus unwavering. Keep the resonance strong, we're almost there. The alien vessel pressed its attack, a relentless predator seeking to snuff out the forge's light. But within the symphony, we found strength. The convergence of our energies, each beat in the cosmic rhythm, fortified the barriers between us and the shadows. With a final surge, the symphony peaked, the forge exploding in a storm of radiant energy. The blast washed over the frigate, its dark form silhouetted against the radiant wave, dissolving into nothingness as the wave consumed it. Silence fell, the forge's energy ebbing to a soothing lullaby as the threat dissipated. The void was quiet once more, the alien presence vanquished by the power of unity and creation. Breathless, we gathered ourselves, the forge's light a gentle glow against the darkness. We had defended its dreams, our bond with the universe strengthened by the trial. Jin, her eyes shimmering with the forge's reflection, turned to me. We did it, Captain. The forge is secure. Cass let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding, a relieved grin breaking through his stoic demeanor. Hell of a show, if I do say so myself. The Riftrunner hummed with approval, its systems resonating with the forge's song. As we prepared to disengage, the echo of the lattice lingered, its voice a gentle whisper of gratitude. You have safeguarded the dreams of the forge. The universe shall remember your song. With the forge's secrets alive within us, we set course for the stars, our journey in uncharted melody echoing across the vastness. The cosmos awaited, each star a note in the celestial symphony we were destined to compose. As we ventured into the boundless unknown, I knew our path was but a single thread in the tapestry of infinity. The dreams of the universe called to us, and we would answer, weaving our stories into the ever-expanding harmony of creation. Part 10: The Echoes Beyond. As the Riftrunner sailed gracefully away from the Star Forge, a new clarity settled over us, an understanding of the Forge's symphony that resonated with every beat of our hearts. We had glimpsed the true weave of the cosmos, and with each passing star, the universe whispered secrets meant for those who dared to dream. The vast expanse unfurled before us, a canvas waiting for our imprint. Jin was the first to speak, her eyes reflecting the shimmering tapestry of the night. The forge's resonance, it's changed us. I can feel it in the pulse of the ship. Cass leaned back in his seat, the tension of battle fading into the past. Feels like we've just been promoted from tourists to conductors in the universe's orchestra. What's next on the playlist, Captain? I had been pondering that very question, the weight of new possibilities as exhilarating as it was daunting. We follow the echoes, see where they lead us. The echo of the lattice had said the universe would remember our song, and I could feel that promise in the ship's very framework. Each hum of the Riftrunner's engines was a note in an epic yet unwritten. Jin, who had been analyzing the forge's data, looked up with a sudden gleam of excitement. "Captain, there's something in the archives. A signal, though faint, echoes through the data. A beacon." "A beacon?" I asked, intrigued by the unexpected development. "From where?" "It's coming from the Darkfold, a sector known for its gravitational chaos," Jin replied, her fingers dancing over the console as she brought up the coordinates. "But there's more. The signal carries a signature similar to the echo of the lattice." The mention of the echo piqued my interest. Could it be another lattice, or perhaps something older? Cass adjusted the trajectory, engaging navigational systems that plotted a course through the most navigable parts of the Darkfold. If we learned anything from that last tango, it's that the universe is full of surprises. The anticipation of discovery was palpable, the journey taking on a rhythm all its own as the Riftrunner powered toward the mysterious beacon. The stars shifted, their constellations morphing into unfamiliar patterns as we approached the heart of the Darkfold. The sector was a chaotic dance of gravity wells and swirling eddies, a celestial tempest that seemed almost designed to keep intruders at bay. Navigating its labyrinth required precision, and Cass handled the controls with the finesse of a maestro conducting a symphonic crescendo. As we delved deeper, the beacon's signal strengthened, a siren call that guided us through the tumultuous skies. The Riftrunner responded to its pull, the forge's resonance weaving a protective cocoon around us. Finally, the source of the signal emerged, a vast structure floating serenely amidst the chaos. It was unlike the lattice, though equally magnificent. Its design was organic, resembling a colossal seashell spiraling inward, its surface pulsating with an inner light. Jin's eyes widened with awe. "Captain, it's beautiful, a convergence shell, a place where the echoes of the universe collect." As we drew closer, the shell opened, revealing an intricate network of pathways glowing with an inviting warmth. It was as if the structure itself had been expecting us, its energy harmonizing with the forge's resonance. Once docked, we stepped onto the shell's surface, the air alive with the soft thrum of stored echoes. Each step we took elicited melodies from the past, voices of ancient travelers who had journeyed here before us. Kaz, ever the cynic with a softened heart, grinned as he listened to the faint symphony of voices past. "Seems like we're not the first guests to RSVP." The echoes guided us inward, the pathways converging at a central chamber where a vortex of light coalesced. It was a cosmic library, its volumes composed of memories etched into the very fabric of space. Jin approached the vortex with reverence, her hand outstretched. "Here lies the knowledge of those who have walked the star paths. We're standing on the shoulders of giants." I joined her, the echoes enveloping us in their wisdom. Each flicker of light was a story, a lesson, a fragment of understanding adding to the universe's vast narrative. And then among the echoes, a voice emerged, resonant and familiar. It was the echo of the lattice, its presence both comforting and profound. "You have found the convergence. Here, the dreams of the cosmos are guarded." Its words filled us with purpose, a reminder of the responsibility we bore as guardians of these dreams. As we stood in the chamber, the convergence shell singing with the voices of the past, I realized our journey was far from over. The universe was an endless sea of possibilities, and we were its explorers, charting a course through the echoes beyond, toward our destiny amongst the stars.